We're going to take you from writing session to release.
This is Worktape to Master.
With us, 2 ways home.
I'm the ocean, the tides of...
In this week's Worktape to Master, we're going to be looking at...
the ocean!
This is the last one in our series of Worktape to Masters, so let's get into it. Izzy, where did we write it?
I remember we wrote this in Vienna and we still needed 2 tracks for the album. And we decided both to go into separate rooms and come up with 2 separate ideas.
That's right. I've got some voice memos on my phone. Let's see what this one's got to say. I think this is just...
the guitar part.
just trying to figure out that guitar part. Okay, what have we got next?
I can fix this shit for you.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
I don't, I wasn't there. Bluesy.
I remember because we actually kind of worked out the song. And then I think we came back to England, but we didn't have a bridge yet. And then you said to me, Izzy, you need to write a bridge for this because I need to do something else. I can't remember what you were doing. And then I went into the other room and I just like came up with this on the keyboard.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I think this next one is an interesting one.
Here we go.
I'm the ocean, the tides
Sounds like you're on the tube.
I know.
rolling ocean,
It's riffing.
You can hear someone saying something over the tube thing. But I don't know whether that was in Vienna or whether that was here in London.
This is exclusive stuff. So Izzy, what's the ocean about?
It's not actually about the ocean.
It's not about the ocean at all. That's a metaphor.
It's about when people actually take advantage of you. And I feel like we were in a situation where we were giving a lot, but we didn't get much back. That line about being the kind of boat floating down the river and taking them on our ship and then going towards the ocean, and they've just jumped on the boat basically and they're just like driving down with us, but they're not actually doing anything.
So we're the river running into the ocean and they're just freeloading on our current.
Exactly.
So I've got the stems of the ocean loaded up and the song starts off with a sample of the wind. Man, that's windy. In verse 2, there are some really cool synths that are very quiet in the mix, so I've made them a lot louder and isolated them. Listen to these guys. This was Maxime, the guy that produced the album with us. He has some great ideas on keys, I love it. And also great sounds. We both love this sound. He played it for us when we were trying to figure out what sounds we wanted for the album. It's called a Porta synth, I think. It's like a portamento synth. Fresh out of the 80s. I think it sounds awesome. Check out this line. Really cool slidey sound, I think. Also, in that same section of the song, we've got some really deep sounding baritone guitars. Well, we have 2. So we have this guy. Sounds brilliant. It's got a tremolo effect on it, giving it that wobbly sound. And then we have this guy. And together, Reminds me of the Twin Peaks theme, if anybody's ever watched Twin Peaks. And then this bit. That was all from the album version. I'm now going to load up the reworked version. With this reworking of the song, we wanted to condense it down a little bit. So we started with the end of the chorus.
I'm no slipstream, no sea breeze.
And we've got these tuned down vocals. Here's the shore. Which kind of provide a nice texture. The arrangement of this song on the album is already quite ballady, quite down-tempo, and we wanted to strip it back even further just to acoustic guitar and vocals, but then when we started playing around with it, we kind of came up with some other sounds. We came across these cool pizzicato string parts, which come in the first verse. Check them out. And then halfway through the verse, we get this little twinkly piano part, which is just coming in now. And I've used some delays to make them ping pong around from ear to ear. Towards the end of the second verse, we wanted to play with some new vocal sounds, different ways of producing vocals. So I've got this weird, glitchy, high-pitched vocal that comes in. Again.
My head in the clouds.
And that leads into the second chorus. Those are just some little bits that I wanted to show you from this song. But now, final thoughts, final thoughts. Now final thoughts, final thoughts, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Lewis, what are the final thoughts?
I think that this song sounds really cool on the album. It's a bit different, it's a bit quirky, it's got lots of layers of keys and synths that is a little bit left field of the rest of the album, a little bit more unusual. And then I like that we got to do it all again, effectively. You got to sing it a different way that you'd realised after playing it live, playing it in streams, that there are a couple of things that you wanted to round the edges off.
Yeah, I used to say am the ocean instead of I'm, and it really now grates on me when I listen to the original.
It's weird how you do things. Yeah, sometimes those are the bits that I like most in songs, where people pronounce things weirdly. Like in Somebody That I Used to Know, he says fremds with an M.
Really?
Yeah.
Said that we would still be friends.
Izzy, do you have any final thoughts?
I really like the message of the song, just because it was written like about the situation that was really bugging us at the time, and I feel like it's really showing like our inner workings.
I think it was just a great way to get out what we were feeling at the time and kind of push it aside and move on.
And we are moving on indeed, because this is the final Worktape to Master.
It is indeed. I hope you've enjoyed watching all these videos. We've enjoyed making them. And we'll probably do it for future songs because it's nice breaking songs down, and I love it when artists do it that I like listening to.
Yeah. Go check out the song. It's on all streaming platforms. And we've been 2 Ways Home. See you soon!
Bye!